Hey guys, John here. Super quick video, me taking apart this Galyean Turbulence. I freaking love this knife. I can't say that enough. So I'm just going to take it apart real quick, see how it ticks. I know it's IKBS, so I just want to see it. And yeah, I'm not going to go into detail or anything, but quick vid. First interesting thing happened right when I took the clip off. As you can see, the checkering pattern doesn't go under the clip area. That's kind of cool. I can see right here where it's got a little bit of wear from rubbing in the pocket, which means your pocket isn't being really torn up by this. I didn't know that because I couldn't look closely enough. Another cool thing is this little recessed hole right there. I can only imagine that he got these water jet first, and then got this water jet, machined this first, got the lock bar cutout water jet, and this is just a way that he can bolt it down to the fixture and put this nice chamfer to break the corner of all this. So that just keeps the lock bar from buzzing around while he's machining it. Pretty smart. Before I get it apart, another thing I wanted to mention is the blade thickness is I believe 150, and I can hardly rock it side to side, which is just amazing. Yeah, it doesn't move at all. Even my Norseman with IKBS, or bearings I should say, the blade slaps side to side quite a bit. I don't know what he does differently. Trying to take the pivot off, I can tell it's Loctited. Something I've never had happen on any other knife is as I'm trying to unscrew it, this side is actually spinning. Every other knife just has enough friction there that this side never spins. But if I put my finger on it, it's no problem. There's quite a bit of Loctited here. I'm going to get the frame screws off first so the IKBS doesn't fly everywhere. Alright, you can watch all the action now. I got the frame screws out on the frame lock side. Got this guy all the way out, got to hold it with my other finger. Notice how I have a tray to catch all the IKBS balls. There they go, holy crap. So this is for sure an Alpha Knife Supply pivot because it's black on the bottom, super fine thread. It's just been turned or polished or whatever on the top. Just gently prying the frame apart. There, it clicked. There. Sweet. So these two, put this down. These two standoffs in the middle here are blind standoffs, or false ones or whatever, so there's no screws. They just slip in there pretty much just for looks. Very nicely machined. Okay, there's the handle. Nothing really to note. You can see the lock face there, where it's got wear just on the top inner corner. Guess that's the way it's supposed to be. Not carbidized. I can tell just by looking at it. So I cleaned away the grease and mostly filth that was inside this pivot area. The pocket. You can see inside there's a groove where the IKBS rolls on, and it's not deep enough that makes me think it's on purpose. This is just due to the wear and tear of the balls as they break in. So it's not like he purposely machined a groove there, like I've heard some people doing. One cool thing is that the detent hole in the blade looks like it was plunged with a milling machine. Or, sorry, with an end mill, as opposed to a drill bit like most people suggest. Well, most people say a 53 drill bit. But that looks like a... I'm going to say 098. I read 092, so might be 098, I don't know. There are absolutely 0 bearing grooves on the blade. Here, watch all the other balls fly out. Before I do that, I'm going to put all the other balls in this one, just so I know how many go in one side. Aha, that's cool. There you go, there's IKBS. You can see on this side there's a gap. You might be able to fit one more ball, but maybe not. So yeah, that's kind of cool. Got one ball here, and lost it. I just want to measure the size of it. They look like much smaller than 16th inch. Maybe not. .062, 0.625. So they are 1/16 of an inch. So yeah, the standoffs are what do you call that? I don't know. I can't think right now. They have a nubby that aligns with the hole in the other side, so that very precise, perfect fit every time. Helps make sure that everything is lined up tightly. It doesn't rely on the screw itself to make everything lined up. It's like a pinned, there's a word for it, I can't think right now. But yeah, not sure how much else I can glean from this. I have measured the distance between the blade and one of the handles, and I think it's around 0.010 of an inch. So I'm going to assume that the balls stick up exactly 0.010 of an inch. I don't think I'm going to measure it. But yeah. So I pull the pivot out. That's about what she looks like. This video is just as much for my personal reference in the future as it is for yours. But yeah, these pivots, Alpha Knife supply these, the exact ones that I use. They are truly amazing. He's obviously modified them, modified the dome a little bit, shortened them quite a bit. But yeah, IKBS is pretty brilliantly simple. You can see he's got a pocket machined for the head of the bolt of the screw, whatever, to go into, so it just sticks up exactly how much he wants it to. I like that. Anyway, I'm just rambling. Pretty cool. Let's check out the blade in detail. They must, I'm not sure how they stonewash this thing, but all the edges are perfectly rounded over. This was definitely done through a tumbling process. I'm assuming when the blade is soft, and then they harden it, and then maybe throw it back in the tumbler, because it's got this cool tumbled surface finish. So my guess is that they do a double tumble, which is pretty sweet. Okay, here's a question to the masses. What is this called, and why do people do it? This little dip before the bottom of the blade. Is it just to help sharpening? Like, because if it tapers out to a full thickness, it'll become difficult to sharpen because the edge will just get thicker. Like, is that why? It looks kind of silly to me. But I think most knives have it, so sometimes it's a stop pin location, but that's not the case on this knife. Anyway, interesting. Okay, lock face looks like a, it looks dead straight, like it's a perfect 7, 8, 9 degree angle, whatever it is, as opposed to like a concave. A strider is an extreme example of this, but it's hard to say exactly. If I hold my straight edge up to it, it looks as straight as I can tell. A very nice surface finish. Looks machined, if I have to say, as opposed to belt sanded. So they probably make a fixture similar to how I do mine. Okay, check this out. If I can get it to focus this close. Okay, see right here, you can see the arc from where the ball, if I can get the glare just right. Anyway, you can see the arc from where the ball detent goes. And then right over here, they have softened this edge. Just with a file or whatever it is, they've just softened it. So that as the ball, this ball detent goes from this position, you lift it over, and it, let's see, right there, it just helps it softly ramp up. Now I've tried more extreme methods where I actually, instead of just softening it, I create a big groove down there. I did that recently on the most recent Norseman that I made, and I found out that it actually took away a huge chunk of my lock face, leaving extremely poor lockup. So having a big groove in there is not really a good idea. Another cool thing that he does is he's got the tolerances lined up so that the entire lock face on the handle lines up with the entire lock face of the blade. Take a close look at other knife makers. Most of them don't do that. Most of them have just maybe half of the lock bar touching the lock tang of the blade, or it's tricky. He's got really cool tolerances on this. And when it's all assembled, you can see they basically flow into each other with only the tiniest little bit of a lip, and that's acceptable. But yeah, anyway, he's also got this cool feature where it's got this lip here that actually rides on the bottom of the lock bar, and I don't know, I don't see any wear marks on the handles, so maybe it doesn't actually contact, but it is kind of neat. No, it doesn't look like it contacts, just viewing it this way. So maybe it's irrelevant. No stop pin, because this thing, thumb stud, although it's not really a thumb stud, acts as the stop pin on this side. And as well, down here on the frame, you can see a tiny little nick mark on this one right in front of my finger. So, yeah. Entire outside of the handle is corner rounded with a pretty big rounder like an 098 or, I mean, 093, I don't know. Whereas the inside is chamfered with a 45 degree whatever to get access in there, and it works quite well. The handles do match up. Like this side is not cut out deeper than the other side. So it leaves a little bit of tight access to get in there, but it's good enough. Again, overall this knife is amazing. I truly, truly admire what he has done. This might help other knife makers. The thickness of his lock bar cutout thingy is 43 thou, 42 thou. Width of it is 300. Length of the cutout area is about 3/8. Length of the bar is about, I don't know, 2 1/4. So yeah. Yeah, like I said, he hides the bearings completely inside the titanium handle, which I've heard is very common with AKBS. And the blade is just totally flat. So, nothing else really to say. Now I just got to put it back together and give it back in about an hour, which is why I'm rushing to take it apart. So I want to thank Victorinoxfan. He's got a great YouTube channel. Please check it out. He's a local guy. This is his knife. He let me borrow it. And he's as curious to take it apart and see it as I was. So this video is mostly for him and myself, but the rest of the world gets to benefit from it. I only feel a little bit bad giving away some of the secrets within this knife, but you know, once it reaches the public is allowed to take it apart and tweak it and whatever. Anyway, that is the Galyean Turbulence. Thanks for watching, guys. I got some more cool videos to post up, so thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.